It was just another Saturday afternoon when I came across a Reddit post featuring historical footage from the final days of World War II. The time period, the look, the conditions, it immediately captivated me. The image of a lone, battered young woman walking along a dusty road caught my attention, drawing me into a historical and internet mystery. Who was she? What had happened to her? Why was she there? I soon realized that I wasn't alone in my curiosity. Many others had been equally fascinated, embarking on deep investigations into this brief yet powerful moment in history. Before moving forward, I would like to thank the members of both the War Relics and the Axis History forums, but especially Carlos Zander for his extensive research and contributions to this story. Now, let's go back to the history of Pilsen's liberation and the Videographer. The 16th American Armored Division was one of the youngest divisions created during the Second World War. Founded in July 1943, and based at Camp Chaffee, Arkansas, it remained there until it entered the European fighting in January 1945, landing at Le Havre, France in February. The division's campaign in Pilsen was launched on the 5th of May 1945. The men of the 16th Division, nicknamed the Armadillo of General George S. Patton's U.S. Third Army, along with elements of the 97th and 2nd Infantry Divisions and support from the Polish Holy Cross Mountains Brigade, liberated this town in western Bohemia the very next day after a brief spell of fighting. They then dispersed to several other towns in the region. The 16th Armored Division was finally demobilized in October 1945. Although they only fought one campaign for 3 days, the people of Pilsen consider Pierce's soldiers to have played the greatest role in their liberation from the occupying Nazi forces. Despite fighting for only a few days, the division lost 5 members and suffered 28 casualties. Captain Orrin William Haglund, born on November 23, 1905 in Michigan, was an American screenwriter and assistant film director before World War II. He enlisted in the United States Army Air Forces and served in the 1st Motion Picture Unit, a specialized group of film industry professionals tasked with producing training and propaganda films during the war. Haglund rose from the rank of corporal to captain and was awarded both the Purple Heart and Bronze Star medals for his service. In May 1945, as part of his duties with the FMPU, Captain Haglund was in Czechoslovakia documenting the aftermath of the war. He filmed various scenes, including the processing of German prisoners and the liberation of several cities. After the war, Haglund returned to the film industry, contributing as a production manager and assistant director to numerous projects. He passed away on September 15, 1972, in San Bernardino, California, at the age of 66. On May 7, 1945, Captain Haglund began filming a group of Waffen-SS and Wehrmacht prisoners. The footage then moves to the recently liberated city of Pilsen, Czechoslovakia, where American forces had taken control on May 6, 1945. Pilsen was one of the last cities to be freed before Germany's official surrender. The next scene shifts to May 8, 1945, where German prisoners are seen being processed in Majto, a small town near Prague. It is here that he captured the 16mm silent color film known as 18 SFP 9196. Then, for the first time at 17 minutes and 24 seconds, we see the lost German girl, a young woman walking alone along Road 605 among retreating German soldiers. Haglund's shot card notes identify her simply as SS Girl. She is a Caucasian woman with light brown hair, standing at approximately 1.65 meters or 5 feet 5 inches tall. A large bruise is visible on her left side, hinting at recent violence. Her attire is peculiar: a V-neck black sweater, trousers with loose straps, and high boots. There are also what seem to be documents in her right pocket. Behind her, a small pillar marking kilometer 78 from Prague provides a geographic anchor to her location. Above, a Piper L-4 Grasshopper scout plane can be seen flying, likely from the 244th Field Artillery Battalion stationed nearby. This plane was a light observation aircraft extensively used by the U.S. Army during World War II. The L-4 Grasshopper was primarily employed for reconnaissance, artillery spotting, and liaison duties due to its excellent low-speed handling and short takeoff and landing capabilities. A close examination of the footage reveals several key identifiers. Her eyes are brown, visible in one of the early frames, a distinctive mole above her upper left lip, a crucial identifier for cross-referencing with other photos or footage. Her DAF identification, or German Labor Front, was the unified labor organization established by the Nazi Party in 1933, replacing all independent trade unions in Germany. Its primary purpose was to control and integrate the workforce into the National Socialist regime, ensuring both workers and employers operated under Nazi ideology. Membership in the DAF was extensive, encompassing a vast majority of the German labor force. Members were issued identification cards known as professional identity cards, which served three main purposes: proof of employment, proof of payment for the membership, and personal information. She has Czech money in her possession, suggesting she may have been stationed or stranded in Czechoslovakia. Her injured hands, possibly evidence of abuse, forced labor, or post-war reprisals. She can move her pointer finger and thumb, and there is also swelling around the area, which is commonly referred to as a boxer's fracture, suggesting she might have injured herself either by hitting something or by defending herself from an attack. We also notice a brief uneasy smile, possibly in response to unseen questions behind the camera. Her oversized and rolled up pants also suggest that these might not belong to her, further adding to speculation of the atrocities that happened to women during war. The removed boots could indicate extreme fatigue and sore feet from a long trek. A cloth used to wipe her face, possibly offered by someone nearby. A simple but distinct hairstyle, characteristic of German women of the time. Was she a member of the SS or an assistant? Was she merely a civilian caught in the chaos wearing stolen, issued, purchased, or given military clothing? These questions remain unanswered. A theory suggests that she was part of the Wehrmacht auxiliary forces, possibly a clerk or medical assistant, captured and subjected to humiliation or violence by Czech partisans or local citizens angered by years of German occupation. One more prevalent theory from the War Relic Forum suggests she might be Laura Bauer, a young German woman who served in Germany's Air Force during World War II. However, definitive evidence supporting this identification remains elusive. The original 18 SFP 9196 film resides in the National Archives and Records Administration, while a digital copy is housed at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, donated by filmmaker Steven Spielberg. Despite decades of speculation, the lost German girl's true story remains a mystery. As of now, I am conducting an investigation on historical archives not found online. I have reached out to the National Archives at College Park, Maryland, and the National Archives at St. Louis to request records and names of those arrested near Pilsen and the surrounding area. These archives house World War II operations reports, unit journals, and morning reports, which may contain the details we're looking for. Given the nature of archival requests, it can take up to 3 weeks to receive a response. Once I have more information, I'll be sure to provide a full update.